Right, hello everybody, hopefully you can hear me and everything. So I'll be carry on when I sort of was streaming this the other day, and hopefully I don't get the bloody pallet stuck this time.
There's our bridge. We're a little closer. I think.
Just keep at it. Come on.
Oh, so skinny.
I might as well make that if it's the only thing I can actually make.
I thought you had plenty of food in your time.
Well, we did. Some just chose not to eat it.
Why the hell not?
For looks.
That's stupid.
Right, so I'll go straight to where that pallet is this time, so it, if it glitches, I'm not as far from restarting.
They'll make that jump.
If you get me up there, I can move that plane.
Wait here. Let's see where this goes.
Alright, I'm hoping that this doesn't glitch like the end of the last one, where she wouldn't get on the pallet or off the pallet properly. Right, let's see if this works this time. Right, am I meant to be putting it about
that
there?
all?
Get on. We're coming to the hotel.
Right, she's jumped on properly this time, so hopefully she'll get off properly, and I can actually carry on with the game. Because there wasn't anything in the patch notes about this being a glitch. Oh yeah, good. Right, it's worked today. So it might have just been a one-off glitch last time. But yeah, last time I was playing this hype, like the pallet glitched and she wouldn't, it like got stuck in an animation where she didn't want to get on or off of it. And I couldn't do anything, but it was about the time I was ending the stream anyway, so I thought it was a good place to just end with that glitch and then just restart the beginning of like that checkpoint.
Oh, this place stinks.
Yeah, wood's all rotten.
Did you go to coffee shops a lot?
I did. All the time.
And what would you get?
Just coffee.
Yep, the same thing as in the ones in Half-Life 2. Well, I don't think in Half-Life 2 they can take Gordon's weight, but they, still like the Havoc physics, you could put quite a bit on them before they'd, sink. Yeah, not been too bad, thanks. Definitely better than that other week. I felt quite tired last week, but I figured I might just need to start taking iron supplements again, because I can get anemic with ulcerative colitis. So I think, you know, it might just be that I've not had enough sort of stuff with iron in my diet. So I've just been starting taking like the multivitamin type things again with it in, and that seems to be helping. Unless it's like a placebo effect, but if it's placebo effect, it's working, so I don't mind. Well, that's good. I've got Sunday off due to it being Easter, so I'm seeing my granddad. But yeah, because it's Easter Sunday, sort of this Sunday coming, I actually get the Sunday off, so I'm working Saturday and then see my granddad on the Sunday.
Ever stayed at a place like this? Before?
No, this is too rich for my blood. Oh, I really miss coffee.
I bet we can get up there.
Right, have I found a note with a combination on yet? No, I think that's upstairs, isn't it? Then you have to come back down to the
I'll be
safe.
checking in for one night, and I would like your finest suite, please.
What the hell are you doing?
Why, yes, you can take my luggage upstairs.
You are a weird kid.
Oh, that sounds good, yeah. There's a couple of videos I want to get done, so I'm hoping that it'd be a good time to get them done, like this week. I'm also going to try and get some actual holiday days booked off work, because the annoying thing was, recently we just didn't have enough staff to use holiday days up. I've had them carried over because I couldn't use them. I have to put the ladder on that side, don't I, for the thing. Yeah, cheers. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep taking iron supplements now for quite a while and see if that sorts out any of the tiredness, sort of fatigue issues. Because I remember them working quite well before. It's just I obviously had a period where my colitis was actually quite good, and then didn't really think about needing them. Is that a note up there I found, or just a bit of like the healing paper stuff? I haven't found anything about the combination yet. Yeah, it worked absolutely fine today, Rajiv. I did it straight away in case it glitched and I had to do a restart, but I didn't want to pick that up. I wanted to get on it. But yeah, it worked absolutely fine today, so that's good.
I'm on it.
Right, I don't actually want to go up straight away. I want to see if I can find where that note was about the safe. I don't know. I actually have to look, Hype, because there's a lot of stuff like that you can get if you look for them. Because the one thing I've been eating recently, which is really good for protein, although it's like, again, it's something you warm up in a saucepan or whatever, but it's chicken and white sauce. And it's really cheap in the supermarkets, but it's essentially like chicken soup, but with actually a lot of chicken in it. But yeah, that actually sounds quite good, the thing. So chicken essence drinks. 22, 10, 56. Oh yeah, that does sound useful, because like I say, and that's the main thing I get, is just if I catch something, I feel fatigued for quite a while. Alright, reinforced blade thing. The main thing here I want is all the parts upgrades. But yeah, I'll do a new game plus this. I probably won't bother streaming it, because I already streamed this on the PlayStation, a load of it, but obviously this version looks a hell of a lot better, even if the performance thing's causing people annoyance at the moment. But yeah, I started a new game plus on the console version, but then as this one was coming out, I thought I'd just play this through again, then do new game plus on PC, because obviously aiming is just so much nicer with a mouse and a controller. Yeah, that sounds really useful. I'm going to have a quick Google now while I'm standing here. Chicken essence drinks. Let me just Google it and see if anything comes up. You can. How much are they over there? Here, on Amazon, they're about £6 each, £6 to £7 each. But you can also get chicken powder as like an actual, you know, like powdered thing in a jar to then add to water and drink it that way, which is cheaper. Yeah, this one is concentrated chicken extract, 99.7%, and colouring. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on stuff like that, because like you said, if I'm ill again, that might be a really good thing for just perking me up. Because if it's one of those things where I wouldn't drink it every day, but I'd sort of store a load for, you know, drinking when I get, like, flu or anything like that, that does actually sound really good. Alright, I get to use my guns again in a minute.
Oh, shit. Get down, get down. How many is that now? 5 just this week. Hey, I'm not complaining. I bet you. We done here?
I'm Florida check, man.
Check for what? I ain't seen a clicker in weeks.
It's because we're thorough. We're gonna keep being thorough. Let's wrap this up, right?
Ah, whatever.
Take it easy. Everything's cool, man.
Yeah, I don't want to waste a shiv on him. What trousers has he got? Look like some sort of DPM style ones. Actually, what I can do is do that, then go to photo mode. Oh, for fuck's sake, I've ruined my stealth now. Because I forgot the annoying thing on the menu is left clicking actually fires your gun, even on the menu. So you have to press enter. Ah, okay, so it's probably like a brand thing. Right, anyway, while I've wasted my ammo doing this then... Oh, I don't want to do a roll. Looks a bit like Finnish, like the Finnish woodland one. That I quite like. Right, anyway, we wasted a bullet and they're now aware I'm here, probably. Oh, fuck's sake. Oh, that worked regardless. That wasn't what I was trying to do. Can I recover the arrow? Oh, it actually knocked that light thing over. The cool thing about this remaster, as much as people are complaining about all the frame rate issues and that, is because it uses the Last of Us 2 engine, not the one that the first game used, it does have a lot of the cool extra physics things and that in it. Which is really cool, because I've noticed the engine is... Ooh.
Hey, he's over here!
Oh shit, there's more of them, is there? Yeah. Oh, lead pipe. Yes, I will have that. Yeah, aiming with a mouse is so much better. Yeah, because they're using The Last of Us Part 2's AI. Even though they're easier to shoot with the mouse, they are smarter. Yes, I've noticed that they use cover better and stuff like that. And oh shit! Hang on, let me use a medkit. I know this is an awful place to get cornered, but I really need a medkit. Oh no, I'm probably gonna die. Yeah. Oh well. At least now my gun won't go off. Waste a shot. Alright, depends where you live in the UK. The main issue I'd say of the UK is just how expensive rents are across a lot of the country. Because we have the sort of typical housing problem where the housing market is not expanded for the actual amount of people, so housing is always a premium. Oh, maybe they have heard me. Oh yeah, so I've still wasted that shot, but... Oh, that's the thing I wanted. Let's get out of this particular...
Oh, shit!
Oh. Yeah, the AI is smarter in this.
You're gonna pay for that.
There's sometimes public housing plans, but they never work out. That was one of the things in the 60s and that they were actually good at, but as time's gone on, it's just not really gone with the times. So that, when there used to be council housing, there's just nowhere near as much of that now, and a lot of the time it doesn't, end up getting used the way it should be used. If that makes sense. There's obviously there's probably good documentaries on it, but yeah, the main problem is a lot of the time land isn't approved for housing fast enough. So you don't end up getting new houses built, at a good speed. And then, when the new houses are built, because of the inflation sort of stuff already going on, those houses go for way more money than they should. Mortgage rates have been going up in a lot of places as well recently. And if you're in the renting market, a lot of people just get stuck in it where they can't afford to start saving money because of how much rent is. Yeah, rent's awful in London, isn't it, Rajiv? Yeah. Oxford, where I am, is also one of the worst places in the country for it. It and London are pretty close to each other. The funniest one, it's funny but it's awful. When they were meant to be building affordable housing a few miles from me, that ended up being, I think, £600,000 leasehold for, a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, when it was meant to be the stuff that was actually aimed at, the sort of, lower end housing market stuff, and it ended up being that price, just because they realised on the postcode they could charge that much. And people then ended up buying them for commuting to London, rather than actually the people they were intended for. What do you mean by one of the houses in the UK that are connected to each other? Do you mean detached, semi-detached housing? you get like the really old houses where you get like a massive row of houses in some cities, like the same as in America in some of the cities. Where I am, you get lots of housing which is called semi-detached, which is where you've essentially got, it's like somebody builds a mirrored house, then you've got walls between the two houses. Yeah, what Reggie's just said. Right, have I found everything I want to find in here before I go to the next floor? No, that's good. Cereal bar or whatever it is. Yeah, they've... Where I'm coughing now, I don't have a cough, thankfully. It's just because I've had dinner, well, lunch, quite quickly before the stream, and I'm drinking quite strong coffee. I was going to say, the volumetric smoke stuff's definitely a hell of a lot better in this version of the engine. Yeah, that's the thing, like, Hype, a lot of my friends and I have said, like, with a lot of the communist countries, at least you had housing. You know, and various other kinds of sort of things like that, where, we've had it where some governments have taken it seriously, and then obviously when they lose power and a different government gets in, or a different prime minister with that party, you know, it never gets pushed. Because we've had the Tories, you know, like our version of the Republicans for, like, the last 14 years or whatever it is, housing for poor people, you know, social mobility is not something they encourage. It's a rich boys club sort of party. So, yeah, it's been one of those things where it's just been, like, stagnating or getting worse for decades, which is like, yeah, so people either get trapped into renting, where they then can't save in lots of parts of the UK, or you spend, like, 40 years paying off a mortgage for somewhere that's not very nice, sort of thing. Yeah, again, we've had weird things like that they've done on very minor scales. As in, like, to keep people in certain areas, they've done a thing, you know, where there's conditions with the housing. But they've never seemed to have done that enough, because there's some really nice parts of the UK where they have, like, young flight type things, you know, where younger people don't really want to live there because there's not enough job opportunities. So they then start, you know, doing the thing of, because I think they were meant to be doing that with Harris and Lewis in, like, the Shetland Islands at one point, but I don't know if that ever actually ended up happening, because that's, like, a really lovely place. It's just that if you're a young person born there, you probably have no incentive to want to stay there. It depends, John, because in some countries rent is actually affordable. Especially some of the, like, developing Eastern European countries. They still have a thing where apparently you can work a minimum wage job and still save up pretty easily for, you know, somewhere, like, a very basic place within a couple of years. Not where, like I said, in the UK, like I said, I want to get an ROC post because of the fact that you can, that at least gives you 4 walls and a roof, for, you know, nowhere near the amount of money a house costs, but sadly you can't mortgage an ROC post out, so it's not, because otherwise I could have already got one, but that's like one of those things where you actually just have to save the entire amount to get one on your own, because annoyingly banks don't do mortgages on a lot of the cooler sort of weird properties. They tend to only do mortgages on, like, official housing market ones. I tried to show your comment, Rajiv, but it says another moderator's handled it. I don't know if Hype's handled it, and it's just not updated on my chat yet. But yeah, see, that would still mean I'm earning more than what I'm earning at the moment, though, Rajiv, because I've not had a pay rise in 2+ years now, I think it is. Or just under 2 years. And when I started working for the company I work for now, I actually used to get, you know, quite a bit over the minimum wage, and it's just been over the years, you know, pay rises become less and less frequent. And, yeah, your comment, for some reason, isn't showing for me, Rajiv. I can see it, but it won't let me show it. Is it showing up for other people? But yeah, he was just on about the minimum wage. Or like living wage, whatever you want to call it. Right, well, there's one of those lights there. Can I actually knock it over with the physics? Oh yeah, I can, cool. So there's physics on both the light's like shade bit and the actual pole bit of the light thing. I know knocking stuff over in a game isn't that impressive thing, but obviously this is just stuff that's different from the first iteration of the engine as far as I'm aware. So also I'm wondering, can you like muzzle sweep knock something off, or won't it let you muzzle hit that?
Whoa!
Yes, cool. Oh.
Hey, get him!
Oops, yeah. That was like the wrong time to do a physics test. Yeah, I'm dead. Cheers. I haven't bought anything deactivated in a while. The last thing I got was the Yugo M56. I'm planning on getting a gas mask video filmed this week, hopefully, in some of my free time, because I haven't done one in a while. But yeah, so the cool thing of the physics in this is that you can apparently knock over stuff like with a rifle muzzle. Yeah, there we go, look. See, because a lot of games don't let you do that. That is actually a good physics thing. But, yeah. So yeah, bigger objects by the look of it you can't knock with a rifle. But stuff like that, yeah. So yeah, the guns actually interact with the environment. They're not just kind of like a thing. Again, I hope, because this is PC, somebody makes a first-person mod for this at some point. Yeah, I suppose with Hong Kong being so expensive, that's why you had stuff like Kowloon, wasn't it? Like where you literally have like kind of a Judge Dredd style, like mega tower kind of thing. The funny thing about Kowloon walled city is I keep thinking every time the Saudis go on about the cube thing, I'm like, why do they want to remake Kowloon even? They're trying to do it in a nice way. Yeah, the Hong Kong prices sound a lot more like London prices. Exactly. If, like I'm saying, if in the UK I could rent easily, you know, in a lot of areas at the sort of first price you said, you know, I'd just definitely be renting, because that wouldn't be that much of my monthly pay. But yeah, when you're ending up basically using up 80 to 90% of your month's income, that's not great, because you're not saving, and then if like you have any expenses come out that you're not expecting because of an emergency or whatever. There's more of them. You know what, there's still another one, and I've run out of ammo for the handguns. Oh cool, the carpet makes a squelching noise. This is meant to obviously be damp. That's just kind of good sound, isn't it? I'm assuming there's no enemies now because Ellie's just wandering around, so I'm assuming like the AI knows better than you when everything's safe. Exactly. Again, so many people can become easily homeless. Like, I know there's like obviously a stigma where a lot of people think obviously people become homeless because like they're drug addicts or whatever, but in like the market you have today, it would obviously be so easy just to have shit luck for a couple of months and then end up homeless if you've not got like a good you know, security net. Because I know people have done stuff like couch surfing for a while to get back on their feet, you know, and they've had bad luck. But again, if you don't have like good relations with some of your family or your friends or whatever, then you can get really fucked over by stuff like that. And again, that just means there's something really wrong with the societies where that can happen. Again, this is why I think people are probably happy in the Scandinavian and Nordic countries, because they actually have good social benefit systems where people don't become, you know, homeless or like chronically ill with easily preventable things easily, because, you know, you pay higher taxes but you actually kind of get looked after. That's why I kind of don't get the people that hate all forms of socialism. Like, you know, there is a difference between socialism and communism. But that also, like I'm saying, it doesn't mean that you can't vote in a party that has socialist ideals and completely fucks it up, because obviously that's a common problem as well. Somebody can have their heart in the right place and just do an awful job at like any of their like working out and, you know, balancing the books. Hello, comrade. I was being amazed, bots, look at the physics that you can actually knock stuff with the muzzle of your gun. Can I actually get the shotgun caught in between the little like handlebar? Sort of. Oh, you can knock the phone off of the phone stand. No. Revolver. That's not long enough. Oh, yeah, there we go. Have I broken the cable, or is that still attached? And no, the wire's still attached. Oh, that's a bit broken on the physics. Surely it should have fallen over from that. But, oh. Yeah, so the wire's actually a physics thing on that phone. No, I don't think that phone has long been in use, nor have phone networks, phone lines. Can you, I was wondering if, I know like those glass shatters if you jump into them, I was just wondering if you could actually knock a gun through by doing that, but I think this does the thing where like he pulls the gun, yeah, it's got that kind of cool thing that a lot of games do now where your gun's collision model doesn't hit stuff, so the main difference I've noticed, for example, in this version compared to older versions, is that in the distance it doesn't turn into like a really low-res like model and texture thing as quickly. So where that bus is over there, in the distance, that might be like obviously lower res stuff by the look of it there. But in the first Last of Us versions, like on the PS3 version and the PS4 version, you'd have the problem where like, you know, stuff where you could really obviously see it was kind of going to like very low res textures. Yeah, level of detail, especially at distance. Like up close it's really obvious for some stuff, but it's obvious when you're on like a high up building, and, you know, and then if you start looking at stuff in the distance, you'll notice that, you know, it doesn't suddenly look like you know, it's gone from like a PlayStation 3 game to a PS1 game, you know, within a couple of inches of like a certain, you know, street or whatever. That was really obvious at the beginning in Boston, where if you went on the skyscraper, you could actually see that up until the quarantine wall, you could actually see, you know, like buildings and rubble and all the stuff like that. Whereas on the PlayStation 3 version, if you look back there, you'll notice that all of a sudden the area you've gone through is just a flat texture. Right, we get stalkers coming up in a minute, don't we? It's kind of weird, because I've had a period recently where I haven't had many games I wanted to play, and now I'm playing this. I'm doing a replay of the Resident Evil remake, because I've already done it, the Resident Evil 4 remake.
Let's see where this goes.
I've been actually enjoying 2042, which surprised me. So I'm actually playing a multiplayer game again. So I've actually got, a list of games to actively play at the moment, which is nice, rather than looking at my Steam library and deciding I don't want to play anything. Cool. I still need to watch all of those bots, because annoyingly it's like one of those things where I noticed when you first uploaded it, and it was obviously on a day when I was doing something and couldn't watch it, and then with YouTube, it doesn't remind me of channels I actually subscribe to and tick the bell and everything. So, I've had that kind of annoying issue where, So yeah, what I need to do is remember one afternoon to just sort of binge watch your videos, because I have to do that with Weapon Collector a lot. But, they would, at one point, notify me, and they'd stay in my recommendations every time, like, he did a video. So if I didn't see it, exactly when he uploaded it, I could easily watch it back. But now, of course, it's doing that thing of, like, oh, because you didn't watch a video the instant the channel put it out, you don't care about watching that channel's content anymore, so here's random shit we're cluttering your YouTube page with. So I keep getting TikTok tier shit at the moment, which I find really annoying.
Maybe that way. That could be it.
Yeah, like I said, the thing that really annoys me with the YouTube algorithm is just the stuff where they seem to be basically basing a lot of stuff now on, like, instant clicks to a channel. So it seems like, because I think they do actually have a 24-hour click-through rate thing, I think they've admitted to. So it's kind of this annoying thing that if you literally don't have a chance to watch a certain video when you first get notified about it, they then think you don't want to know about this channel anymore. So they'll then start pushing more and more stuff in your face that's just like the viral kind of shit. So I end up getting loads and loads of fucking videos of, like, person reacts to this, person reacts to that, and it's like, but I never watch these videos because they're cringe. Oh, at least I got that 20-minute video done on that East German Geiger counter. But yeah, it's not very good for picking up softer X-rays and gamma rays. I wouldn't recommend it for that. I can't actually dive underwater here.
I think I've tried over there yet.
I'm glad his NATO torch is waterproof. I like T-junction torches, whatever you call them. L-shaped torches. Right-angle torch, that's the word, right-angle torch. Oh no, these people are drowned. Right, so we're now back, past that bit.
Over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna just find everything I can.
Avoid that doorway.
Maybe that doorway. Texas. The annoying thing with the shivs is obviously I can't carry more than 3, but I always save the shivs because you use them to open, like, secret area kind of doors. Yeah, exactly, bot. So, yeah, because their main thing seems to be watch time of a video. So in some ways streams are better, because a lot of these streams, if people are watching and we're chatting, they have better watch time per viewer than regular videos. But then you also have the issue of, yeah, it's also like immediate click-throughs and stuff like that. And, so yeah, there's just so much stuff with, like, the YouTube algorithm, which is kind of really annoying in the sense of, there's content I actually... You think you'd be able to climb up there, wouldn't you? But no. There's so much stuff of, you know, like, this is content I actually want to watch, but YouTube is actively, you know, not letting me find it, because, can I dive here, or is it just a bit deeper on the floor? Go under a floor. That means they're a moderator, John. Yeah, like, the same thing I also have a problem with YouTube is sometimes you can literally click one video, decide you're not interested in it, for like a certain genre or something, and then YouTube decides, oh wait, you must be really interested in that genre now, so let me push it non-stop to you, kind of thing. So yeah, I've got that problem sometimes where I'll click on one type of video, decide, it's not that interesting, and then YouTube thinks for like a month, You also have the problem with like music and audiobook kind of things. It will recommend you stuff you've already listened to, not anything new by the same artist.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's rats. Oh, their eyes glow in the dark. That's cool. Or like reflect the light. Oh, the weird thing about is S10 in this version of the game, right, let me just go into photo mode by pressing enter, not by shooting, is he has an S6 style cover on it. So yeah, it's got the S6s, rather than having just like the plastic, because some of the people in this still have the plastic, you know, covers. It's actually got the S6 style, you know, almost like, rather than having the exhale valve, you know, like that rubbery bit's kind of like the seal that opens up there, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of a good way of explaining it. But yeah, it's like the actual S6 design rather than the S10 design. The voice trumpet sort of thing. Yeah, but that's the problem, Hype, is you can click on something, decide it's not something you're interested in, but then YouTube doesn't care. So even though you might have watched one video, you know, and then decided that's it, no, YouTube says, no, this is the thing I'm going to spam for you now. So again, I've had the problem where there's channels I think haven't uploaded content in months, only to find it's just because YouTube hasn't told me, you know, when I remember to check the channel manually. I'm like, oh, they've been doing a new video every week for like 4 months, but I haven't seen any of their videos, because despite the fact I used to watch all their videos regularly, YouTube just hasn't shoved them on my front page. Oh yeah, I was seeing that last stream, because I was saying like a bit of it also reminds me a bit of a PMK, or whatever it was. But yeah, like you're saying, the ARFA actually is a better way of saying about that sort of XL valve thing. But yeah, I was sort of thinking it was more like the metal one. I didn't get a good look at it, but yeah. Actually, saying that, has he got an... I know, like, the straps are always wrong on these, because they never have top... You know, they're always, like, weird 4-point harnesses in this game. But I was actually going to wonder, is it an FM12 or a S10 he's got? Because I was actually going to look at, like, the eye bits. I think it's more like an S10, isn't it? Because that was probably quite popular when they first made the game. But, I like how there's randomly explosives in a utility cupboard. No, I didn't really need the hint game, I was more just sort of taking my time looking at things. Actually, they're more like an FM12 things, aren't they? But I suppose that's just they couldn't be bothered to model like the weird shape of the plastic on the S10. Kind of, yeah. Let me show you in a second. I'll see if I can get somewhere with better lighting so I can get, like when I put the generator on or whatever. Right, yeah, that's the card I need, isn't it?
I hate these things.
But yeah, it kind of has them, but again, it's like this. I think it's this weird thing where it's obviously like combinations of bits and masks. But yeah, like I said, I'll try and get a bit where I can get a brighter light on it, so you can look at like the detail edges of it. But I'm pretty sure it has like the hood bit on it. You can just about see it there, but it's not as pronounced as actually on an S10. Yeah, a lot of spores down here.
Here we go. Damn it.
Alright, hang on, there we go, lights are on. So, photo mode, I'll do it with enter. Right, now let's rotate it around his face. Yeah, so there is a hood stop on there. But it's got fabric straps with the clasps on it, like it's actually, saying it, are they like the FM... Like, the straps are definitely... I know the harness is wrong, but like it's more like an FM12's ones. The lenses are more FM12 shaped because they've not got that weird kind of thing that the S10 has. You can still obviously put outserts on it, judging by... Unless it's already meant to have an outsert on it, looking at that. But yeah, the filter looks a lot more like an S6 filter, saying that. So yeah, the filter and the XL valve, they look like they've now copied from an S6 for this design. Because some of the enemies have the classic S10 in this, that was in like the first game. Because I think I shot one earlier, like, you know, if you go into photo mode and look at their masks, they do not look like Joel's version of the mask. You know, they've got the proper voice trumpet sort of thing. But at least his filter's not got a plug in it, like in so many games. You know, because that would be dumb. It's got like the little Klansman mic connection thing on there. And again, it's not a removable looking one, but I suppose some of the FM12s don't have the removable ones either. But... And he's got his beard there, look, breaking the seal of the mask. But I suppose that doesn't matter, it's a game. And his hair... Oh, yeah. His beard definitely breaks the seal of the mask, look. Because his hair's coming out the side of it. But yeah, his beard gets through the mask. But yeah, I can't remember in this if his beard gets longer as you play the game or whatever, or different chapters his beard's a different length, so it might be because of that. But... Oh shit, I bled him. You bloody bastard. I'm glad that little door's just going to stop the bloater now.
So much for that. I find Ellie.
Yeah, because I can't remember it doing that earlier in the game, so I think it must be, you know, his beard and that and hair length changes in certain chapters like his clothes do, so, you know, the clipping issues are probably better and worse in certain, you know, times in the game. Well, at least the arrows are in a gym bag, that kind of makes sense, unlike where you sometimes just randomly find arrows for no reason in, like, a hotel room. What I am interested in is, later in the game when you get some, like, newspaper clippings on the wall, I'm interested in zooming in, now the texture rares should be higher, and seeing if all, like, the little side stories are real stories, or just, like, blurry text. Because, like, those don't look like they've made them higher res at all. They look still really low res, that, like, clipboard. Yeah, so that like, clipboard, you know, pinboard sort of thing, everything there is really low res. They've not changed that texture at all. But loads of other things are, so like I say, it's a bit weird. Alright, I can upgrade a gun.
Let's see what we got.
Capacity is one of my favourite things to upgrade for the pistol. So, let's just do capacity for the pistol. Can I do another capacity upgrade? Yeah, let's do a second capacity upgrade then. Any upgrades I can afford for the long guns? Capacity for the shotgun might be useful. Yeah, because I can't get any of the other upgrades I want for the rifle. So let's do capacity. Yeah, I hope so, bots. I mean, Sony generally does the thing where they'll keep a game exclusive for a while, but I think Sony realises now, which is good, that, you know, it's worth actually putting stuff on PC. Because again, I have a PS5, but I'd rather have games be multi-platform, because then everybody can play them. And, as well, my PC has better specs than the PS5, you know. So it's like the Demon's Soul remake, I really like that. I've played it through a couple of times on PlayStation 5. If I had it on PC, I'd end up just playing it a lot more, because I could just boot it up whenever I feel like it. Oh, I can do fire rate as well. I'd rather save up for the range thing. Well, I've got the stuff for the range thing, but I don't have the tools, so there's no point doing that now. Let's do reload speed, just because on the shotgun that actually kind of seems useful, because you load it in shell by shell. But to be honest, The Last of Us 2 remake on PC, unless it came out in a few years' time, they don't need to change much of it, because I think a lot of the textures and that are really high res. It's just they're kind of toned down to run on the PlayStation. Yeah, so yeah, like Rajiv was just saying, I think they will do that. If when Series 2 comes out, I think they probably want to make as much money as possible, because like that's why this version of the remake came out now. Was because of the fact that, you know, there was a series that did really well, so you time them, you know, for success. I wonder if there's people that actually think that the game was a tie-in for the series and not the other way around, sort of thing. If that you get me right, you know, like a licensed product of the series. You know, like not knowing that it was originally a game. I haven't got an extra shell to put in my shotgun. I've not got any pistol ammo either, so I can't really take advantage of these upgrades.
Yeah.
Oh.
Finish it! I got it! Nicely done. You bit? Not today. You?
Oh, what sort of plate carrier he's got?
Alright. Spread out.
I'll go have a look at his plate carrier in a minute.
Spread out. Take it easy. Take it easy, man. Everything's cool. Me either.
I'm definitely liking the bow more on the PC version. I think that's just because of the aiming mechanic though. Where did that guy go down? Oh, there he is. I was just thinking, for the size of that kitchen, there's not a big seating area, is there? Even if you had a load of tables here. I can see it's more of a buffet style thing, but still, like, with the size of that kitchen and the fact that they've got, like, two big wall-mounted whisks. Sorry, it's just because I've, like, you know, worked with culinary stuff, this is annoying me. So they've got little whisks, they've got big whisks, they've got, like, a big pizza oven, they've got, like, what's that, 5 industrial ovens there, or like 7 depending on how you want to count those. Load of fryers, like, yeah, like those sort of fryers, the ones you can do burgers on, like that one where it's like a big flat surface you put oil on. Obviously loads of saucepans and things, yeah, more fryers on this size, regular stoves, microwaves probably, like some sort of meat cutter. They should have a dishwasher somewhere as well. They've actually modelled a kitchen properly, like this. Oh yeah, it's over the other side, look, the dishwasher. Oh, so they've got a conveyor belt style dishwasher, so that's good. That does some more capacity, and they've got a corner. Oh no, they don't have a corner style one. I thought that was like a pull down corner one there, but no. But they've got, yeah, the spray gun sink. Yeah, so they've got a big conveyor belt dishwasher. That makes sense if it's a big place, but then it doesn't make sense that they've not got that many tables. Oh, did I go in the dry store before? No, I didn't. Or is this meant to be a walk-in fridge? What type of door is it? Might even be a walk-in fridge outfit, that door is. Oh yeah, it is, because there's the vents at the back. Let's see, oh, it was just Hype saying he was going. Yeah, so this kitchen is actually pretty well modelled, it's just, it looks like a really small restaurant for the size of this kitchen. That's the weird thing. But maybe it's because they do, like, room service for all the rooms as well. That guy was patient, wasn't he? I was looking around the kitchen. And again, like I was saying before, in a situation like this, you'd think you'd have lots of little knives, wouldn't you? Just in different bits. So if somebody pinned you down like that, you could just get a knife with your free hand and stab them.
You just hang back like I told you to.
Well, you're glad I didn't, right?
I'm glad I didn't get my head blown off by a goddamn kid.
You know what? No. How about, hey, Ellie, I know it wasn't easy, but it was either him or me. Thanks for saving my ass. You got anything like that for me, Joel?
We gotta get
Oh, I do
going.
like the fact there's water dripping off his guns as well. I haven't heard anybody in the chat for a while. But
They're
hopefully
okay.
some of you still there.
Sure,
It
Joel.
says 7 people still on. Right, you're still there, Jiv. Right, Mark.
We need to get back out, find that bridge.
Tell me where to go.
I hate this crap.
I suppose, yeah, if they have conference rooms and ballrooms, they might actually need a big kitchen if they're doing all the places at once. Another book. What's this one? Ah, yeah, that's actually a good one. So it means that, yeah, your upgraded weapons actually are more upgraded. This is on PC, what I'm playing it on. It originally was a PlayStation exclusive, but yeah, they finally brought out the really good looking remaster of it on PC. The only issue with this really good looking remaster is for a lot of people's systems they're getting like really bad frame rates and that. I'm alright, but that's only I think because I'm running it on a 3090, so I'm kind of you know, it's like towing something with like a really, really heavy big rig, basically.
How about a hand?
But yeah, the first one, the one that's the
Sure you can
remaster
do
of,
that?
was originally PS3. And then there's been like a remaster on every version. This is essentially the PS5 remaster, high-res textures and everything.
There, how's that?
Let's go.
What's Dig Foundry? Is that one of the channels that finds like glitches in games or like shows you cool stuff in it? Or is it just like a review thing? Because there's some channels I like where they like you know, like backwards engineer as many of the files as possible to show you how things work in game engines and that. I always like channels like that. Because there's some really good ones of all the Resident Evil like remakes where they show you like how the AI works off screen and like spawns in, spawns out, that sort of thing. Alright, cool, Rajiv. Yeah, that sounds like a channel I need to sub to if I'm not, like, then I said then never be notified that they've got any new videos up because YouTube.
Right now, I'm gonna jump down there and I'm gonna clear us a path.
What about me?
You stay here.
This is so stupid. We'd have more of a fucking chance if you let me help.
I am. You seem to know your way around a gun. You reckon you can handle
Oh,
that?
his scope's randomly disappeared. Oh no, it's because it's another bolt action. It's not as good as
I
mine.
sort of shot a rifle before, but it was at rats
Rats.
with BBs.
It's the same basic concept. Lift it up. Right now, you're going to lean right into that stock as it is going to kick a hell of a lot more than any baby rifle.
Yeah.
Go and pull the bolt back. Grab it right there. Just tug it. Here you go. And as soon as you fire, you're going to want to get another round in there quick. Listen to me. If I get in trouble in there, you make every shot count. Yeah.
Was the factions the multiplayer bit? Because I've never actually played that before, but if they're like doing that eventually for PC, aren't they? So I will actually play it on the PC, especially because I'll be able to aim better
So
with
we're
the
clear
controller.
about back there. It was either him or me.
I think the PlayStation version I have still lets you do factions, but whether or not anybody plays it on like an outdated build of the game, I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I should have known. If you're gonna steal, you better make sure you get away with it. Right? I would have done.
They're all dead! They're all fucking dead!
What the hell's he yapping about? Take a breath. Who's dead?
Whole crew. The 76.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, I forgot to look at that guy's vest, didn't I, in the hotel?
Yeah. Keep doing that.
Yeah, I did see about the monetization, yeah, because I saw for like 30p they were selling things like gas mask or helmet for it, you know, that sort of things. So many online games do that now, annoyingly. Like different skins for money.
I got him.
That definitely killed him, that second shot. But again, I suppose this does have the video game problem of even a buckshot from a shotgun is like, oh, it really spreads out really fast, despite the fact that, you know, that's not how shotguns work. Where's the other one shooting from? Right. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, does he actually have the same model as Joel's one? Oh, I better heal.
I got him.
Bastard.
Moving up.
Alright, this one had the plate carrier I wanted to look at. I don't recognise it immediately as like a famous surplus type model, but... No, that's kind of interesting, Richard. Cheers, Mark. Like I said, annoyingly in the UK, obviously, there's not that much I can get without jumping through a lot of hoops. Because then the cool thing, at least, is the obsolete firearms, because you can own those, you know, and it's only if you were shooting them, then technically, you know, you'd actually need to fill out the legal paperwork for them. But yeah. Because, like, again, it's kind of cool that I would have had no idea a couple of years ago that you could have got stuff. Well, I did get some of them a couple of years ago, but you know what I mean, a few years ago, that you could get stuff like old early bolt action rifles, because they don't consider them firearms in the UK just because they're weird old calibers that aren't that mass produced. But again, if somebody was into reloading, they'd have absolutely no issue getting the ammo for them. But thankfully, the government here hasn't actually considered that a reason to make laws more strict on them. Because the Schmidt-Rubin is such a nice bolt action for being, you know, prior to 1900. Like 12 round feed magazine, really nice straight pull bolt. It's not actually a straight pull bolt, it's the same like charging mechanism as the Garand and M1 carbine, but it's just done as a you know, straight pull bolt for the bit you actually do it on at the back. Oh shit. I could brick him, couldn't I? No, that Magnum definitely pistol whips into people's skulls pretty well. Right, Potent.
Alright, come on down.
Right, hopefully there's loads of ammo I can pick up now. She had infinite ammo somehow. Makarov.
How'd I do?
Yeah, sadly I don't have a Lebel. Again, like with some of the older French rifles and that, I imagine they would all fit under the obsolete caliber.
Still more your size.
Yeah, they actually reduced the magazine size mark on the later versions when they were cutting their barrel size down. So like the K31 is, I think, only like 5 or 6 rounds, which is pretty conventional. It's just, for some reason, the earliest model had the biggest magazine on it. And I don't think there's even a reliability reason why they cut the mag down. I think it was just to be a more compact, lightweight rifle.
Now the safety's on. You know how to switch it off?
I do.
If you mean the PC version, I would wait till they've patched it a bit more. Because while it's running alright on my PC, so many people are having problems with it. I think, you know, it is kind of does have a load of hardware issues. Right, there better be ammo for me to pick up from all the guys I killed, because I'm not going to be happy if there isn't. After, you know, killing that many of the goons down here. I can see there's some other stuff, but there's no, like, there's still some of their body parts laying around. Yeah, the other cool one I've got, which is easily UK legal, and they're actually really cheap, is the Steyr Mannlicher. So like the Swiss, not Swiss, sorry, the Austrian, is it M1895, although I think I've got the slightly older model. Because again, with the UK laws, it's like if they change the cartridge to a more common cartridge, those models on won't be obsolete calibers anymore. But, you know, the old, again, the old Austrian straight pull, that was like the Austro-Hungarian rifle of World War One. So I've got, like, the bulkier version of the World War One rifle. And then the World War One, a bit like the Swiss ones, were, you know, over time they, increased the, like, powder, because the weird thing about the Schmidt-Rubin is it's actually fully smokeless. It's not black powder or semi-smokeless like a lot of the obsolete calibers are. But I think the model of Steyr I've got is actually like either a smokeless, semi-smokeless or black powder one. Because I know when they like did a more uniform cartridge for them, that was when they became the actual smokeless ones. The bolt isn't as nice on that as the Rubin, because it's a literal straight pull bolt, so it's quite sticky. But yeah, it's still nice that, you know, like for £200 whatever they are, you can buy like an old 1800s bolt action. What I saw, which is really cool in the US, you can get. I wouldn't buy one here just because it's the sort of thing that I could imagine might really legally fuck me over, so I'm not going to risk it. But in the US, I did see that some of the obsolete caliber guns, there are companies that make custom cartridges that you then fit, like, cartridge housing, if you like almost like steel pipes. So there's, like, one for the Martini Henry, so you can put 45 ACP in a Martini Henry and shoot it accurately. They're quite expensive, they're like $20 a case, so you don't want to lose them. But you can obviously just keep reusing them. So, you know, you load a, say like the Martini Henry one, you'd load a 45 ACP round into the back of it. So the, like, the striker hits the same sort of bit, like the hammer and striker hit the same bit of the cartridge to set it off. And then you've got, you know, like you can actually use cheaper ammo in the old, without having to hand reload, you know, like 5.77 rounds, whatever it was. Yeah, shame it's a Diak, but that's still cool. Which one's the VZ61? Because the VZ58 is the, oh, is that the Scorpion, the 61? Because the 58 is the rifle, isn't it? Yeah, the 61 is the Scorpion, isn't it? Yeah. Because I've actually got a DX Scorpion as well, I just couldn't remember its number. But yeah, the 58 is the cool thing that looks like an AK, but is better than an AK. And then, yeah, the 61 is, yeah, the Scorpion. But yeah, like I said, the one I really like is the Polish PM63 I've got. And again, I know it's one that, like, loads of people absolutely hate that gun that have actually had to use it. But I think it just looks really cool. And again, I have seen videos where, because although it's like the Forgotten Weapons one, where like when he's looking at it on one video, he thinks it's really cool, and when he shoots it, he doesn't like it. But I have seen videos of like people in Poland at gun ranges shooting them flawlessly, so I think it is just, if you learn the gun well enough, it's not going to really annoy you like it's weird ergonomics. Can I get through there? Or is that actually just a completely shut off room that you can just see through the window of? Oh, it's completely shut off. Yeah, that's the weird thing, is it's not actually an AK, is it? But it's close enough to one visually that you think it's an AK. But yeah, like the gas system in it and that are different, but they're stupidly accurate for when they were made. There's a video, is it 9-hole reviews or something like that? I'm trying to remember the name of the channel. I don't actually need a hint, but I'm just trying to have a look around this area first to not miss anything. Where he did a video like shooting loads of AKs, you know, working out the MOA of them. And yeah, up, like, in the list of all of them, just under, like, the most modernised, high-quality, like, sporterised AK there was, the VZ58 came second, you know, an old surplus one, because that's just how well they were made. And I know it will vary a bit from rifle to rifle, but still, it was the fact that, you know, like, compared to even a lot of modern AKs, the VZ58 was still more accurate, just because of the gas system it uses. And again, Czech engineering, so, Czechnology. Yes, I know about the hint. I'm just exploring the game. I don't want to miss anything in here, because this is where I can sort of potentially get lots of ammo for later. Because obviously ammo is quite sparse in this game. Did I look all around the coffee shop? I think I did. I think this is when we were on about some of those cartridges when I was walking around here. Yeah, still some stuff I missed, so... But yeah, there's quite a lot of those conversion things as well, so you can use 22LR in a lot of weird old guns. But yeah, apparently they're things that work really well. They don't damage a gun, because I think the idea is that the bullets you put in them kind of match the proper barrel size, and they're always a less powerful cartridge you load in, not a more powerful one. So you're not going to, you know, cause pressure damage to the things. It's just going to have shorter range. But, you know, like with the 45 ACP thing out of... the thing, it's close enough apparently to 5.77 that it will spin properly on the rifling. It's just, and again, you've had a black powder cartridge and then you've just gone down to a modern smokeless, but the 45 ACP is so much smaller that the pressure doesn't bother the barrel. I don't know what you mean amazing for die. What's amazing for die? Oh, don't tempt me, Poten. I don't want to look and then want to get something. I probably will look later. What was... I'm trying to think of some of the stuff other than obsolete calibers that I've been looking at that I kind of liked. Because there's always been DIAC guns that I wish I bought when they were really cheap and I've not seen them since. I mean, sometimes it is just, you know, you can't do it because you don't have the money, and I'm not the person that says, let me start fucking up savings or getting into debt because there's something at a good price.
Hold on. There.
But, yeah, there was a Czech submachine gun from the 50s I really like the look of, but they sold out before I had a payday. That was the one, there's a Forgotten Weapons video on it. It's the one where your, like, hand is really close to the muzzle, so it's apparently not, it's a bit scary to shoot. I moved the cart now, don't I? Yeah.
Help me open this.
Here.
I got it.
Amputator fingers. Yeah, the one I really am annoyed though I didn't get was either a G3 when they were really cheap, or the Set Meow, because I really liked the Set Meow. And that was one that for ages, you know, for months and months, they were on one of the DIAC sites. It might have been D&B. And I wish I'd have got one. Because the Set Meow was like when Spain made its own indigenous 5.56 rifle before just buying like M16s or whatever they did in the end. And it's like one of those kind of flawed but cool ones where, you know, it had a load of issues, but they're still kind of mechanically cool guns. You know, like compared to something like the L85, they had nowhere near as many issues as that. And they're cool looking. It's just, you know, a shame that... I think it's always a shame that, you know, like, as much as I like ARs for what they are, that, you know, so many nations adopted them rather than making their own cool guns. But I think, if I'm right, it was on one of the Forgotten Weapons or In Range videos. They had to Set Me Out, and it was actually the best gun they ever did on the mud test. As in, like, you couldn't stop that thing firing, no matter how much mud you put in its action. Like, so a gun that, you know, was known to be not reliable at the time in Spain, the funny thing was that, you know, it's actually turned out to be fairly damn reliable. Let's do range on the bow. You know, when it's actually been stress tested kind of thing. I think the reliability problems from what I heard were more of a thing like, you know, like where various factories might have made it or whatever, and like the parts could really vary in quality. So you had some that were built like a tank, and then others, you know, where certain parts would wear out faster, kind of thing. They're basically G3, Mark. Yeah, I might have a look at that, Potent, because if it's... The good thing with subguns is they don't take up much room as well, especially the folding stock ones. But yeah, so, yeah, because the original Set Me is the gun the G3 came from. Because the G3 is basically a HK-built Set Me where they bought the rights to it, and they just called it G3 as in, like, Gevea 3 or whatever it is, rather than, because the G1 was the West German FAL, but they weren't allowed to build them, or get the license for them or whatever. They could only have them on, like, you know, individual sales. And then, yeah, the Set-Me L is basically like a G3 downsized to 556, but it doesn't actually look exactly like the G3. You know, it's kind of been made to look... It looks quite sci-fi, because it's got like a weird handguard on it, you know, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the G3 and the FAL were both, you know, like really good guns of the Cold War for the Western countries. But yeah, the G3's existence, like I said, is kind of funny that it only became so popular. It was just because Germany couldn't get a production license for the FAL that the G3 ever became a thing as big as it was. But yeah, the original was the Set-Me. Because the Set-Me design that looks really nice is if you... it's in Fallout 3. It's, I think, the one that's meant to be the American assault rifle in Fallout 3. Because the Chinese assault rifle is basically an AK. But the American assault rifle in Fallout 3 is a Set-Me. It's just 556 for some reason, not 762. But it's got like the really nice wood furniture design on it. Yeah, I got mine for when it was under £400. It might have even been under £300. I can't remember if it was like 295 or 395. But yeah, a lot of them are like a couple of grand now, aren't they? It's insane. Like I say, that's the problem with the G3 is, you know, I could have got a G3 around the time I got the FAL. And at the time, I didn't think it was worth the money. You know, and now they're just so much more expensive than what they used to be.
Whoa!
I was hoping I'd blow his cock off. But, oh, Ellie actually shoots now, doesn't she? Oh, he actually bled out. That's cool.
At least you're scared of us.
Just try not to let it go again.
I'm just saying, it's good having you on this side. That really meant.
Okay.
I'll probably keep streaming until the nighttime bit, because that's a good place to stop. So I think the shelves here, isn't it? I suppose it depends how long it takes me to do this truck bit that's coming up, because this, again, is one of the bits that sometimes is a bit longer than... I assume Dawn of the Wolf is like a Twilight ripoff. Sort of thing. Well, I guess that's like the idea of it. Doomed in the game sense, or doomed in real life sense. I think we're going to live a bit longer in real life. I think eventually we'll, do something stupid. Can I deactivate those? No, that's a shame.
Let's do it.
You gotta show up somewhere. You're a lucky day.
Joel, there's a guy up on that second floor, right there.
Yeah, I see. Stay low.
Oh, fuck's sake, we blocked it. I don't think we're a very intelligent species as a whole, but I don't think we're going to wipe ourselves out anytime soon. Military surplus store, oh, looks like I can't go in it. Oh, that was bad aim on my part.
Ellie, cover me!
Sure. Look out!
Oh,
You
nice.
son of a bitch!
We actually got him in the face. Oh, and he had a load of shotgun ammo. Nice. Right, that's actually the best bit. I'm just wondering if there's a way I can get into that bookstore without... Oh yeah, probably through the window there. There we go. Without having to set off a tripwire. Don't really need to build anything at the moment. Just harvest resources. So there's another tripwire there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd seen him. There's no point setting that one off, is there? Because it's I'm just going direct.
Oh shit! Let him go!
Oh, they actually hear that you're out of ammo. That's cool. Again, it might be because they're using the AI, like we were saying, from number 2. Rajiv. Oh look, I am somebody from Texan Oblast, and we should not be sending our tanks to help Ukraine. The Russians will use a screenshot of this game and claim it's an actual Abrams that's been knocked out in Ukraine by them. I literally bet you. What model of S10 has he got? Oh, it's landed upside down. His face.
Oh man, you're in surviving.
What? Oh.
Hopefully I'll find like a cereal bar or something and not need to use a health kit in a minute. Still got... Have I got a brick still? No, I'll take that bit of brick. Yes, they've actually got a note saying about the Humvee that they're riding around in with all the armour slapped on it. Like they're technical. For me, it's running fine, Mr. Knight, but again, a lot of people have had issues with it, so I think I'm just the exception that I'm running it on quite a good PC. Whereas it seems like a lot of people, I would not recommend getting it until it's been patched, because it definitely seems like one of those games that, you know, the stated minimum requirements or recommended requirements aren't really good enough, because you need to kind of, you know, run it on way too powerful a machine, if that makes sense. Oh, is this a shiv door? Finally I get to use a shiv. Oh, finally some pistol ammo. Right, let's immediately make another shiv so I can always do the doors. Oh, pick that big blade back up. Yeah, well, I'm hoping, Potent, that with a lot of the Western equipment that's being sent and how sort of bad the, you know, Russian situation is, that there can be a good offensive again by Ukraine and force Russia out. Finland is joining NATO as of tomorrow. Still probably going to take a while to get Sweden in, but at least Sweden's better protected now. Finland's in NATO. But yeah, I can imagine now, considering Russia's now pulling T-55s out of storage and stuff like that, that their lines are going to be very thin in places in terms of good equipment. Yeah, that's what I'd say. They're apparently prioritising doing loads of patches for it. But yeah, it's that typical problem of it's not been well optimized on release. So, you know, it's just running like shit for some people. Again, I think it's like the thing where it doesn't like certain GPUs or CPUs at the moment. Seems to be like what people are complaining about. Although I have seen a load of people complain, you know, running it on really bad CPUs and then saying, oh, why doesn't it run well? It's like, well, you need a good CPU as well as a good GPU. I didn't actually see what that note said, but well. Right, that was that guy that I shot in the face on the second go. Oh, his head's had it, hasn't it? So the thing's pretty good on this. What do you want to call it? The like gore decals kind of thing. So if I go to photo mode, yeah, the people certainly get fucked up faces like The Last of Us 2 when you shoot them in the face. That's it, man. Because yeah, in the PlayStation 3 one, if I remember right, like I think like people's heads exploded and that when you shot them in the head sometimes, but I don't think you'd ever get like the gnarly, you know, like half a skull missing kind of thing. No, Finland and Sweden wanted to join, and Turkey was blocking Finland and Sweden joining. They're still blocking Sweden, but they voted to let Finland join like a week ago, and Finland is joining as of tomorrow. It's literally tomorrow they're in. That's a cool old looking keyboard. It's not an IBM Model M, but it's still like one of those. Actually looks like a retro keyboard. So yeah, literally as of tomorrow, Finland is in NATO. It's all been ratified, and tomorrow's their joining date. And then hopefully with Sweden it won't take too long once Finland's in. Because again, the worse Russia does, the less opposition there seems to be to you know, anything that's anti-Russia, because again, it's like lots of countries now aren't taking Russia's threat seriously. You know, we will nuke you if you do something that pisses us off kind of thing. Then again, as I was saying, I hope for regular Russian people this war ends soon, because imagine getting mobilised to die in this shitty fucking war. You know, oh, we're going to just mobilise you, make you freeze in a trench for months, and then the artillery's going to just blow your legs off, or we're going to get you to run into a machine gun and Bakhmut. It's just political shit potent as far as I understand. It's because of Erdogan. They're like Prime Minister, President, whoever he is. He didn't like that Sweden, Finland, like, didn't want to expel, like, people the kind of, like, political enemies of his thing. You know, again, I don't know all the details, but a lot of it is apparently, like, where he's trying to get, you know, you know, like, essentially, so he's saying that's his problem, but then he's trying to kind of say, well, if you give me some money, you know, maybe I'll... It's that sort of thing that, he's trying to basically get as much stuff for Turkey out of it, or himself, or his party, you know, as possible. So, what's going to, like, so I guess Finland just met enough requirements, or bribed him enough, that he eventually, you know, said, alright, you can join. But also it's been, as Russia's been doing worse and worse, like I say, in countries like Turkey that are a bit on the fence, they don't want to back a loser, so they're turning more away from, you know, Russia. It's that sort of thing, I think.
Almost there.
Yeah, the latest sort of Russian fail thing I saw, a bit like World War II, Mark, like the end of the Third Reich, is that Germany, just like Germany, Russia is now apparently like mobilising horses to, you know, like draw carriages of, you know, goods, ammo, you know, so rather than logistics trucks.
Military preparatory school.
Yeah, nice way of saying orphanage. I wonder what happened to all these kids.
This place has been out for a good stretch. They ain't kids no more.
Meaning they're either hunters trying to kill us, or they're dead.
Or they got away.
You don't believe that.
I believe in getting out of this city. Come on.
So yeah, apparently it was 3,000 horses they're like getting to start, yeah, pulling supplies, you know, pulling artillery, field guns, that sort of thing. So yeah, no longer mechanised or motorised. They're actually... And with Germany, it was actually just because they were running out of fuel more than anything else. Because they had the problems near the end of the war where they had tanks, they just couldn't run them because of the fuel. But with Russia, they're a petro state, so they haven't got that excuse. It's probably just that all their tanks have been kept in such shit storage conditions, you know, been cannibalised for parts, bits have been sold off due to corruption. And they've been so wasteful with a lot of the tanks they've had, and you know, things like that, that they're now having to rely on literal horses.
Fucking truck.
Some Z. Get some. What annoys me is that you can't fucking kill that thing with Molotovs, because like you have to kill it in a later bit of the game. But it's annoying that, you know, you can have loads of Molotovs, you can be in a prime ambush position, you can do nothing to it. Is there actually a can of bacon MRE though?
He's got a gun! They're shooting at us, Blake!
Not a military turret, just stay down!
Yeah. If you've seen the condition some of the tanks are in, it's awful. It's basically what they did there, because Cosmo even gunged them up. But yeah, what it basically was, as far as I'm aware, is when the Soviet Union was a thing, they could store them in the deserts of Kazakhstan and some of the other stands. You know, so they could store them in actually arid conditions, like that's good for storing vehicles, like what the US does with a load of its old surplus vehicles. But when the Russian Federation, you know, when it turned into Russian Federation, the USSR fell apart. Any of the tanks they've just kept in, like, basically Siberia. Yeah, we had one just now, Rajiv. It might not have been when you were watching it. But there was one guy begging, and he actually bled out before I decided to shoot him or punch him or whatever. But yeah, where I'd, like, blown part of his leg off with a shotgun. And then he bled to death anyway during that sort of bit. Like, maybe I can do that with this guy. Oh no, let's just grab him. Oh, there we go. Again, there's lots of stuff they can probably carry over quite easily, just simply because of the fact that, you know, if this is using The Last of Us 2's engine, stuff like that is probably already built into the code, you know, so they can get that stuff to work without really any effort. Oh, he's got like a weird, like, plate bit on his leg, look. Or is that just where he's landed on, like, a coffee can or something? I can't work out if that's part of his character model. Or if he's landed on something. Oh, I think he's probably just landed on like a coffee thermos, hasn't he? Yeah, it's one of those, look. Yeah, I thought then he had like some random just like leg armour strapped on. Actually, saying that, in this version of the game, the Humvee does look like it would survive Molotovs better, because it looks a lot more like, you know, sort of bunkered, buttoned down. Whereas, if I remember right, it looks more just like a Humvee that's been quickly sort of converted in the other one. How did it know I was there so fucking quickly? Hasn't it done? Because the more you armour up a vehicle like that, the more you cut its visibility down. I know there could, in theory, be a driver that goes like, oh, he's over there, but still.
Got a shotgun!
I want to see if you accidentally walk in front of the machine gun. Come on, walk in front of the fucking machine gun, mate. Oh yeah, cool, he can. Oh, was that Ellie shooting him? I'm not sure, but still. That's what I wanted to see. Yeah, he reacted to the other shots coming in. Being a 50 cal, I imagine that could actually go through the engine block enough. It's kind of cool that the car's got physics and gets pushed around with it. Don't hide behind the boot of that car, the trunk, Ellie. That's not bulletproof. Not that it probably matters in the game, or cars probably just work like a... Yeah, like I said, it's worth having stuff like that, isn't it? Mr. Knight, yeah, just because of, like I said before, like, down to negligence, I think is more likely that you're going to get shit like that than actually, like, a country attacking each other. Like, maybe with a terrorist attack, like a dirty bomb or, you know, like a chemical weapon. But for the most part, it's, like, companies being cheap and not maintaining their shit properly. Because there's been, like, 2 more derailments, hasn't there, since that, Ohio one. Just because of how bad some of the train lines are in America, apparently. Because there was a guy in Ohio that was saying to me, like, just how bad some of the train lines are, you know, and, like, Biden and that's covered for all of the railway corporations and that. And they don't want to spend money maintaining their lines or anything, so... But yeah, it makes sense having stuff like that, because the prices always go up in an emergency as well. So, you know, actually having the stuff beforehand means that you're not going to get price gouged. Because, like, the same thing happened with COVID, that all the masks and, like, PPE started going up stupidly. Anything to grab down there? No, it's just like water reflections. No, no stuff in that vending machine. I like how there's just bottles of, like, whiskey or whatever it's meant to be on people's desks. It's like, oh, thank goodness that, like, 20 years after the apocalypse or whatever it is when this game's set. It's like, I'm assuming not 2013, because I thought there was a September 2013 calendar as well somewhere, so it's like September, October 2013 that it all went wrong. Although, didn't the first game come out before 2013? I'm sure it must have done. It might have been set in 2013. But yes. we're like more than probably year 2023, aren't we? Because of the fact Ellie's meant to have been born after everything went bad. I was saying, yeah, I'm glad there were so many alcoholics in all these desk jobs that they had bottles of whiskey laying on their desk for making like rags with and all that. Yeah, that's right, Mr. Knight, but like I was saying, yeah, I just think that's personally more likely to happen, because it's happened so many times, you know, negligent discharges of stuff, you know, with companies and that, through, like, accidents and whatever, rather than something malicious. Because, again, there's people that just don't get that, though, that you're more likely to probably run into an industrial disaster, because of the frequency of them, than an actual, you know, like, full-on war. You don't need a gas mask necessarily, because you're thinking some military's going to, like, missile nerve agent onto your house. It's more like, you know, some dumbass is going to burn stupid chemicals near your house or whatever. Oh look, even more alcohol. What's that one actually say? Oh, that's isopropyl. So he's... I mean, because you're not meant to drink isopropyl. That can make you go blind, if I'm correct. It's not actually methanol. It's still ethanol-based, if I remember isopropyl. But it's not one that's like safe to drink because of how it works. But so that is actually medical alcohol. I just find it funny that, you know, like you can use a combination of like straight-up liquor in the game on like your wounds or whatever. And like stuff like that is actually the stuff you try and make a disinfectant from or whatever. But I suppose it makes sense in a scavenging thing. You want, you know, it to make as many things that would make sense to be there as possible, rather than it just being like one type of ingredient.
Leave him alone.
Easy, son. Just take it easy.
This will be quite close to where I finish. I'm going to wait till the bit where it goes to night, where they're going to start doing the thing with the bridge or whatever it is, and that will be where I stop.
Man, you hit hard.
Yeah, well, I was trying to kill you.
Yeah, I thought you were one of them too. And I saw you. You haven't noticed they don't keep kids around. Survival of the fittest.
You're bleeding.
Ah, it's just nothing. I'm Henry. This is Sam. I think I caught your name was Joel.
Ellie.
Looks like he has a Casio watch on
They're all
in
dead.
this version.
You
I'll have a look when we're in game, if I can zoom in on his
There were
wrist.
a bunch of us. Someone had the brilliant idea of entering the city, look for supplies. Those fuckers, they ambushed us, scattered us. Now it's all about getting out of this shithole.
We can help each other.
Ellie.
Safety in numbers and all that.
She's right. Could help each other. We got a hideout not too far from here. Be safer if we chat there.
Take us there.
Follow me.
Sorry about the whole
No dead baby in the crib.
I would probably do the same.
What's that meant to be in there? Cotton wool or what? Or was it?
Really?
Oh yeah, probably just cotton wool or something. I thought then it was like they had a stash of weed right next to their bed. Yeah, especially if you're downwind of something, exactly, Mr. Knight, because like that's another thing, is like in Hawaii they were useful when the volcanoes went up. But again, if you're downwind of any sort of smoke thing, even though a mask, you know, won't give you oxygen, I'd rather have a mask on if I was getting out of an area, rather than inhaling whatever's coming down range. Right, Connor? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I won't be on too much longer. I've been on probably about 2 hours at this point. Yeah, exactly. There's quite a lot of cool watch designs, a bit like some of like the Wave Scepters and some of those other ones that, you know, either have a really long-lasting battery, or they've got kind of the hybrid system of having a way of charging a battery that isn't fully mechanical. Because I've got a Seiko that's quite nice, which charges via wrist movements, but it's not actually mechanical. It's like a
We gotta be careful.
you know, like it's got that kind of wrist movement system, but it uses it to charge a like lithium style battery.
We're not really there.
So you can actually replace the battery in it if you need to, but it's actually just a it's more like a mechanical watch in terms of charging it rather than, you know, putting a battery in with a full charge. Yeah, the watch I'm wearing at the moment is just mechanical, but that's because it's a dive watch and it's one that I can take to work, you know, get it underwater, get it exposed to chemicals, knock it into shelving and that, and it's still pretty damn solid. But again, it depends what price you want. And again, it's not a Swiss watch or anything, it's just a German one. I think it's now made in China, but it's built to a good standard. Yeah, mine's a Tauchmeister, however it's pronounced. They used to be a German company, but I think they're mostly made in China now. But some of their dive watches are actually pretty damn good. Again, it's not going to be as good as a Rolex or Omega or whatever if you're on about just straight up timekeeping. But it's, you know, it's good enough for what I need, and it's fucking built like a brick shithouse. And, you know, I like it because it's just a good solid watch. And it was cheaper than some of the other mechanical watches I've had that, you know, were made by companies like Seiko or whatever, where I've had them go wrong. So yeah, look, a load of bird cages in this house.
Hey, Ellie. I think I found another one of them comics you've been reading.
Oh, cool.
What did you say, Henry? Try and word it differently, because sometimes YouTube just has a stupid list of you know, like words you can't say, and it's not even showing up for me as a comment to allow or like deny. It's just straight up not showing up.
Wait. Everyone be quiet. Get away from the windows. Man, that fucking truck. It's been hounding us ever since we got in this day. Sam, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Get rid of it.
My backpack is practically empty.
What's the rule about taking stuff?
It weighs like nothing.
The rule. What is it?
We only take what we have to.
That's right. Now come on.
How far is this place?
Close. Real close.
Make my day, robot. What happens if I actually shoot it at this point? Oh, it doesn't do anything to it, because Ellie picked it up. I was wondering if I could actually just break it. And there we go, just taking it up. Because yeah, as much as like people say, oh, you can have your, you know, like the exact time on your phone and everything, and I carry my phone with me all the time, I just prefer a wristwatch for quickly checking the time. and because of a dive watch, I can mechanically set a timer on it. So, like, you know, I know you can again set a timer on a mobile, but still, it's like the point of I can quickly set, you know, if I'm going on break, like when my break ends or whatever at work, you know, if I'm doing something, what time I started doing something to know how long I've been doing it. You know, if I put food in the oven and when it needs to come out, that kind of thing. I just like being able to quickly do the, probably hear it on the mic, you know, spinning the counter dial on it, whatever you want to call it, like the timer dial on the watch, and just doing it that way. And again, I understand why a phone is really practical for some people to tell the time, but again, I don't think you can beat a wristwatch for just its practicality.
Go! I got you covered. Over there!
Oh, I suppose as well, my wristwatch doesn't need charging like every 12 hours to actually keep working, unlike a mobile phone.
There you are!
I like aiming on the PC. My gun is so much more accurate.
We did it.
Oh, that guy's jaw's gone, look.
Timer.
Oh, cool. That is cool, actually. Not cool in a psycho way, I just mean like the attention to detail. But, yes. His fucking jaw's gone, look. Yeah. That yeah, the bottom of his jaw's been blown off. Oh dear. Yeah, that definitely didn't happen in the original version of this game. You just have like heads sometimes pop, I think, or just have like a blood-red mark on them.
Up on this truck.
He's got a permanent smile now. Let's put a smile on that face of yours. Joel's watch is broken. I was going to look, wasn't I, at the watch before I forget. Right, okay. Is it that wrist it's on? It's on his left wrist, isn't it? So you can look at Joel's watch. I mean, I know that's like a thing anyway, but I was wondering to see it in more detail in this version. If I can get the camera where I want it. So yeah, it looks like Joel's got probably a mechanical watch. Might not be. Can I actually roll the... Oh yeah, cool, so I can actually get that to kind of look... The only thing is now it's really hard to work out what way you're... So yeah, you've got like a 60-second stopwatch bit at the bottom, or it might not have a second hand, it might use that bottom bit as a second hand, and then you've got, yeah, the standard face. Could have a battery in it, I suppose, one like that. It's hard to tell, because they're the sort of designs that would work either way. It's got a NATO strap on it though. Yeah, NATO strap, military strap. Yeah, if you click the description. So yeah, bear in mind, because I'm running it on a 3090, the GPU is really good, and the CPU was like the best CPU on the market at the time I got it. The GPU I got after the PC. I'll check out Sam's watch, or is Sam the kid? I can't remember. This might be a good time to look at his wrist. Oh yeah, there we go. Right, photo mode. Oh, let's put the roll back to 0. Right, okay. He's there, right. Looks quite like a Casio Wave Scepter, especially like how the strap... Is that meant to be a metal strap, or is it meant to be like the kind of plastic and rubber one? It's hard to tell looking at that. I'll see if I can get a better look at it in a minute. But... Right, let's try again. See if I can get... Oh, I left-clicked again, fuck's sake. Oh, it's giving me some lighting to see his watch. I think that's annoyingly as close as I can get to it. But yeah, it's kind of like a Wave Scepter style design, isn't it? It's got a stopwatch button, like one of the things. 4 buttons. Again, I hope they patch that stupid thing out, where if you left click it actually, on the menu, it actually shoots a gun. Because it's like a little second delay before it goes into photo mode. What did I do to that guy's face? Just blew off the top of it, didn't I? Yeah. Oh yeah, literally the top right of his head's gone, look. Yeah, I am impressed with the gore in this. Because a lot of games seem to only have the thing where you can, like, blow either an entire person's, like, head or limb off. Or, you know, it does no damage. They don't seem to have this kind of thing that's quite cool where, you know, like, they've modelled a few different kind of impacts to somebody's face.
Through the store. You sure it's safe being so close to them?
I'm all over the key, man.
Where'd you get that?
I killed one of them. Yeah, I'm missing now. Everybody go.
Can't get through there, look. Oh, I can if I stand up. Let me check around here first. I know it's back there, mate. I just want to see what's in your toilets. Firefly pendant with a hole in it. So, elevators. What's that weird looking thing on the wall? I was going to say, is it like one of those old fashioned, like, dryers, but it's not, is it? Because this is like a paper towel on the dryer thing. Is it made to be a baby changing station or something, where you have to use a key to deploy it? But then wouldn't that get in the way of it? I don't know. Oh, that's toilet roll holder, isn't it, there? Yeah, so the bottom bits are for 2 toilet rolls. And maybe that's just a bin on the top bit. Yeah, who knows? Which one's SOF, Rajiv? Soldier of Fortune? Not in years. I know the game you mean if you mean Soldier of Fortune, but... And I know that was meant to have really good gore for the time, but I can't remember it that well now, compared to all the more modern games I've played.
Same? Oh, you're 14, huh? You're close.
Oh, I knocked.
Alright.
Complex of the Year, 2011. It's knocked the globe over. Oh. Oh, I can spin the globe with my gun, but I can't knock it over, that's annoying. Can I find "You Are Gay" on the globe? Oh, spin it again. Let's go to South America. You are gay. Oh, stop spinning, I want to read it. I know it's Uruguay, it's that Simpsons joke. You are gay. That's Africa now. I don't want Africa, I want South America. Does it always rotate to the same place or not? I can read stuff like Brazil, but I think the smaller countries, it's that Bolivia there, I can just about read. Peru. Yeah, sadly, You Are Gay is going to be too hard to read. Yeah, it's like with Red Faction, isn't it? Like the old Red Faction, how you could tunnel through all the walls by like shooting them with rocket launchers. There's so many things in like old games that it's a shame that just don't seem to be made in new games, and I guess it's because in lots of game engines you can't do certain stuff or it's too complex to do, blah blah blah, but you know. It's that kind of thing that it really annoys me that if you think back to how innovative a lot of games were years ago, like how much a load of that stuff stopped. I don't think there's a country called that, Mark. I mean, there's Uranus as in the planet. You can have, I suppose you can have a solar system thing with Uranus on it. They crawled from Uranus.
Here we are. Welcome to my office.
How long have you guys been holed up in here?
A few days. We found a bit of food, though. Here.
Blueberries. Found a whole stash of them. You want some?
No.
Hey man, relax. You're safe.
So why haven't you left?
Been waiting for the right opportunity.
And?
Here. Check this out. These sons of bitches. Every day they congregate down there, guarding that damn bridge. Come nighttime, it's down to a skeleton crew. After sunset, that's our window. Most of them gone, sneak right past them.
That could work.
Oh, it'll work. It'll definitely work. Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't like a centipede from Uranus.
Blueberry hurt.
It's been a while since that boy even cracked a smile.
Do you think
She doesn't
Uruguay
seem
will
bothered
ever
by
have a
this.
space program and go to Uranus? Because then you could have "You Are Gay"
Where
has
were you
gone to
heading?
Uranus.
Heard the Fireflies are based out west somewhere. We're gonna join up with them. Something funny?
It just seems like there's a lot of people putting their stock on the Fireflies these days.
Yeah, maybe there's a reason for that.
You don't know.
I will
where
be
they
off
are,
in a minute
you're
because
just
this is
gonna
the bit I was
drag
waiting
them
for,
across
where it
the
goes to
country.
night time, and like you're going to go to the bridge, and then that's a good place to play a load more tomorrow.
Easy. We're looking.
Oh no, bots! Oh no! This game's like Red Dead Redemption 2. It's fucking miserable.
This is us. There's an abandoned military radio station just outside the city. Any survivors from our group, they're supposed to meet us there tomorrow. You and your girl, you want to join us. It goes down tonight.
I guess we best rest up.
Yeah, exactly, bots. It's like when people are on about his daughter at the start. You realise that Ellie, the girl on the box, isn't Sarah or whatever her name is. Oh no.
He says it's time to go.
Yeah, it's time to end my stream. You're right. Because this is a good bit to do all of this bit tomorrow. In like the sewers and then that place of the sniper. How long have I been streaming? What, like 2 hours now? Or just over 2 hours?
Right. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, y'all stay close, okay?
You tried this before?
That's comfortable.
There we go, less than 1 minute ago. Right, anybody that's on, see you tomorrow. I'd like to get a gas mask video done this week as well, and I need to catch up on Bop's videos and Mike's videos and loads of other people's videos YouTubers not been showing me, even though I'm subscribed to them. So I'll try and get some of that done at some point. But yeah, as I said, this game, I'm enjoying this remake, and like lots of things in the remaster / remake are really well done. The main issue, I think, is optimization on a lot of people's PCs. I've only run into one like game-breaking glitch so far. And again, it didn't happen the second time I did that little segment of the game. So, yeah. So far, so good, but like I said, I'm on a high-end PC, so I know that doesn't work for everybody else. So I think this is going to be one of those games, like we were saying in the chat. Wait a month, see if they do lots of performance patches for it and whatever, and then it'll probably be worth it. Especially if it's on sale, it'll be worth it, but, you know, I still bought it full price, because why not? Right.